Hi, welcome to our emergency contraceptive seminar. Come on in, sir. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, take your seats.
Not that seat. That seat. Hey. Sir, I know this is a sensitive topic. I need you to take your seat.
Hi, thank you so much for being here today. So, your families have clearly given you both an intervention, and that's why you're here today, because we've seen some at-risk behavior from both of you.
Ma'am, you don't have to cry. It's okay. We're here for you.
We're here to help you.
I know. I know, it's okay. We don't have to cry. We'll teach you everything.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm Chandler.
And my name is Brooklyn, and we are certified health education specialists. And our associate here,
Dr. Crane, I am the on-site scientist.
And today we're going to be talking to you about the use and knowledge of emergency contraceptives.
they are any method of contraceptives that are used for sexual intercourse that prevent implantation, a sperm reaching an egg, or preventing ovulation. Emergency contraceptives are also known as morning after pills, postcoital drugs, and secondary contraceptives. There are many different types of emergency contraceptives. Most are in pill form, but not all of them are. Most are available over the counter at your local drug or grocery store. It must be taken within 72 hours to 120 hours after intercourse. The most common types are Plan B one-step, Ella, Copper T IUD, Take Action, After Pill, and the ESP method. Failure rates of emergency contraceptives are only about 2% when taken 72 hours after unprotected sex.
So our first scenario is having unplanned or unprotected intercourse. Use a defective condom, which means it could be broken, it leaked, maybe it was expired. That's why some of those things happened. You did not pull out in time, which the pull-out method is never safe. Failure to abstain from sex when doing natural family planning, so you failed to not have sex while you were ovulating. And then incorrect use of a diaphragm or cervical cap, so that could be broke, tore, became dislodged, or was removed too early because you're supposed to have it in for like 6 hours after intercourse. And then the last one, if you have, or someone you know has experienced rape. So now you may be thinking to yourself, wow, what a great way. I won't have to go on birth control, or I won't have to use condoms again. So, while it is a great way to prevent implantation, it is not that simple because they're very pricey, ranging from $24 to $65. And then also for an IUD, depending on your insurance situation, it could be $0 if you have insurance, but if you don't, it could be like $900. So some different types are like Ella, require a prescription written by your healthcare provider. And then they can cause nausea and vomiting due to high estrogen concentration, and may alter your endometrium, causing heavier periods, which can also, any symptoms that come with your period, it could heighten those as well. And then it may block ovulation for longer than it may usually. So, and you're really not supposed to take it more than 1 to 2 times, because then you will have very severe symptoms. You can get on a regular contraceptive such as birth control, the depot shot, or an IUD. You can talk to your doctor about which one's the best for you, because each one's going to be different for every single person. So even if you are on birth control, condoms are a great way to double your protection, and it's also a good way to protect yourself from HIV/AIDS and other STIs.
Fun fact, 8% of condoms break, which is why you should take advantage of these other methods of birth control. And emergency contraceptives are a safe and effective way to prevent implantation and unplanned pregnancies, but that should be your last line of defense, as there are many health problems that could occur as discussed in the last slide.
We surveyed 162 students from Texas A&M, asking them for their personal experiences with regards to emergency contraceptives, and we used the platform of Google Forms to ask them anonymous surveys. Surprisingly, only two people out of the 162 people we asked didn't know what they were. of the ones who said that they had taken emergency contraceptive within the last year, the most predominant was Plan B one step at 28.6%, and following that was Take Action. About 33% said condoms and birth control, 34% said that they were using only birth control pills, and 18% said that they were using condoms only. 20% said that they had been with 6 partners or over. The majority of them said that they had been with between 3 and 5 partners. 18.5 said 2, and 20% said 1. 43% said that they had not used any. 42% said that they used 1 to 2, and 11% said that they used it 3 to 4 times. No evidence suggests that it's more harmful to use it more times, but it's recommended that you get on a regular form of contraceptive because it lessens its effectiveness. About 62% said that they felt like they had an accurate understanding of how they function. A huge number said that they had not. That number is almost 77%.
And that concludes our Emergency Contraceptives or RUF seminar.
And we would like to thank our special guest. This is Coda.
And this is Harlow.
Yeah, I think for sure we need to advertise more so we have a bigger turnout. We were expecting 5, only had 2, so for sure we need to advertise more, make flyers, get the event out there.
Yeah.
That there's not a lot of research conducting that it's harmful to take it more than once, but
that they
it's just not recommended. It's recommended that you get on a more long-term contraceptive, such as a depot shot or an IUD or an Implanon or birth control pill, something more than having to rely on an emergency contraceptive every time you need.
So I think we should really focus on that for the next time.
Yeah.
And I thought what I think we should really keep for next year also is that the pricing of everything, because a lot of people are in different situations, so it's really good to know what you can afford. And what you can't afford depending on your situation, and how you can go about getting those things that you may need, whether it be emergency contraceptives or even just a regular.
Right, because regular you can get a pack of pills for $0 to $20 a month versus the Implanon is going to be more like $350 a year.
Yeah.
So the overall cost might be more or less, but depending on everybody's financial situation, how much they can afford each month.
Yeah.
Also making sure that if you can't afford it, you need to take those steps. Right. Because the emergency contraceptive pill, like we said, is going to be closer to $65. So you need to be able to take those steps to make sure you've got, another defense.
Right. And these might be expensive, but it's cheaper than a baby.
Yeah.
Very true.
Very true. Going into nursing profession, it'll be really helpful for us to know because, a lot of people, as we could see from our survey research, hadn't gotten formal education on that. And so we're lucky enough to have that formal education. So,
and be giving it to other people just like today.
If they're coming in with questions or they're not, or they've taken it and they're having symptoms and that's why they're in the doctor's office, stuff like that, and we're able to let them know, okay, look, we've done research on this, we can answer your questions, so.
Right. Yeah. And me work in pediatrics, it can be, sometimes a sensitive topic for younger people to come in and talk to their doctor about them having unsafe sex and needing a second option or a first option, so that can definitely, sex education definitely relates to this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as a physical therapist, it's kind of harder to use the information because we're not really doing this, but I will have female patients and I will have male patients who have partners, and I think it's good to, even though it's not my profession, I think
somebody may just ask you advice or something one day, and
exactly.
you would have the knowledge to answer that.
Yeah, I think we all have as in the medical profession, we all have a job to be health educators, even if it's not what we're doing at the time.
Right.